So President Obama and Raul Castro had a really awkward moment at the end of their joint press conference in Cuba. Raul went to hold up Obama's arm in like a victory kind of thing, like, yeah. And the timing just wasn't right. So let's take a look at that picture here, because it really is funny. So you see Obama's like limp arm being held up as he awkwardly smiles, and Raul's like committed to the arm hold, like, yeah, we're doing this. All right, your arm's up, buddy. Yeah, victory. Both of us, reestablishing ties, which is a good thing. And again, this was a sign of him trying to say, like, yeah, like, okay, we're moving in a more positive direction. And honestly, I don't know what was going through Obama's head. It was either just the timing wasn't right and he wasn't prepared for it or whatever, or it was maybe something like he just doesn't like the optics of having his fucking arm held up by somebody who really is an authoritarian leader. Now, again, as far as authoritarian leaders go, they're on the less bad end. There's no denying that, but he is still an authoritarian, and that's maybe Obama wanted to avoid the optics of that. But, Bush, for example, would hold hands and nearly make out with the Saudi king, so, I mean, you could give a big whoop-de-frickin-do to that either way. So it's a funny pick, and I think we can all agree that it's a funny pick, but in steps idiot Glenn Beck to try and make this a thing, and to try to do some poignant political analysis as to why this is really important. Let's take a look.
Raul Castro held the president's arms up?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what was going on there. That was
using him as a puppet.
I must have watched that.
So weird.
That's a good explanation. I watched that thing, I bet you, 20 times, and I still can't figure out exactly what happened.
It's the emasculation of the president. It's emasculation of the president. It was showing I have control of that. There is nothing. Look, stand up, Jeffy. There is nothing. If I am trying to intimidate somebody, right? What do I do? If you're trying to intimidate somebody, what do? You walk right into their space, their personal space, right? Mm-hmm. And that intimidates, and that shows I'm aggressive. Remember, what's his name that lost to Lazio, that lost to Hillary Clinton? Yeah. Because he took 2 steps towards her.
Oh, right.
Okay? You step into that space. If I want to show not only can I intimidate, but I control somebody, I then grab their hand and I just hold it up. If I'm not a friend of yours, if you're a friend, you can do that. If you just met, you don't grab somebody's arm and just kind of hold it up and play little games with it. He's showing, I control this man. What was he actually doing yesterday? Stu is actually right that Castro in his space, reaching over and grabbing his arm, showing I have control of this guy. We are one with another. His mask came off. He's a Marxist. He believes in communism. As Ron Brown said, we all pretty much agree. Ron Brown was part of this administration. We all pretty much agree with Mao. The guy is a Marxist communist. And that's exactly what Castro was doing, holding his arm up because they're buddies. But Barack Obama knew I can't show that to people. And he became a puppet of a communist dictator.
That's just embarrassing. It's embarrassing on so many levels for Glenn Beck. He goes from saying, that's what he's trying to do, he's trying to intimidate him so he gets into space and he lets him know I'm the boss here. He went from that to, fast forward like 2 minutes, he's his buddy, that's why he's holding up his arm. They're buddies. Which is it? Is he trying to intimidate him and he's trying to say, I'm the boss and I'm above you and I'm better than you? Or is he saying, we're buddies? Which is it? Those are contradictory. You have to pick one. Okay, but that's the least embarrassing part. Dude, what are you doing? He's President Obama. Now we know Obama is a communist, Marxist, Maoist because he had an awkward moment with Raul Castro where Castro tried to hold up his hand after a joint press conference. There's zero logic in that. I mean, this dude is making connections that are just not there. Yeah, we know that he's a Marxist, Maoist, communist because of this. Okay, maybe you want to do something crazy like look at Obama's policies and his record to see exactly what he is. So, for example, the guy cut small business tax cuts over 12 times. He cut small business taxes over 12 times. Okay, you know what a communist, Marxist, Maoist would have done? He would have went in there with guys with guns and said, man, to steal from Cartman. Man. And said, this is now owned by the state. and we call all the shots. It's central command, central control of everything, of the entire economy, and that's that. Did you know that while under Obama, we've had private sector jobs grow by over 12 million? So that's private sector, that's capitalism. In the public sector, we've lost hundreds of thousands of jobs. What would a Marxist communist have done? It would have been the opposite. It would have been 0 private sector jobs created. In fact, you would have lost all the ones we had, and everything would have been a government job now. Central control of everything, communism. Government control, everything is the state now. So now it's all us, and we made it that way. Communism, Marxism. And Glenn Beck is like, no, he's a communist, Marxist, Maoist, even though he's grown the private sector and increased capitalism, decreased the size of government, also cut the deficit, by the way. Something you say you care about. Oh my God, deficit spending's the worst. Well, Obama took it from 1.4 trillion under George W. Bush. Now it's about 480 billion. So he cut the deficit. No credit. Gets no credit. He does their fucking plans. Obamacare, an individual mandate system. It keeps the private health insurance system intact. It doesn't make it the government. It doesn't make it single payer. He does their plan, and they still fucking smack him across the face. He's a communist, Marxist, Maoist because of the weird moment and picture he had with Raul Castro. Dude, this is just embarrassing. And you know what my main takeaway is from this story? I'm going to throw a curveball at you here. You probably don't see this coming. But my main takeaway from this story is Glenn Beck has phoned it in. He's done. He just doesn't care anymore. And it's showing here because he doesn't do research for his show. That's what this means. Now, I'm in the business, so I know what it's like to be over-prepared and to have to read all the articles every day, and it is taxing. It takes a lot out of you every day. Okay, I got to fucking prepare 12 stories. That's a lot of articles you read. So you got to read like 18 articles to get 12 stories and watch all the video clips, and then you come out here and you talk, and you got to be educated on the issues. This is what him and his fucking little pathetic minions who have entertained nobody in their entire lives are doing with their time on air. They're on air, and they're saying because of a weird moment with Raul Castro, that proves Obama's a communist. Dude, nobody believes that. You don't even believe that. But the reason why you're filling airtime with this is you're lazy. You're lazy. So you didn't have the time, or you didn't just take the time to do it. You didn't read various articles. You didn't give us, economic numbers or data or an interesting story about something that happened in the world of politics. So since you didn't prepare, you got to fill the time. I don't know, play the awkward clip of Obama and Raul Castro. It was funny with the fucking limp arm. And then you make a mountain out of a molehill. Oh my God, he's a communist. Look! Is it easy to tell I didn't prepare for my show here? That's what's going on there.